COVID syndrome. Okay, so we're finding this with tens of millions of people around the globe right now. After they've either been injected or infected with COVID 19, they're having this massive fatigue issue. I want to tell you what's really going on. The latest research shows that this is an ATP production problem. It's a mitochondrial deficiency, a mitochondrial disorder in the body. The mitochondria inside of your cell of your body is the powerhouse, right? You guys remember that from like 7th grade? The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Well, inside of your cell, there's all these little machines in there. That's literally what they are. There are these little bitty machines inside your cells that are working together to produce energy, to make new tissues, to do all these things. Well, that mitochondria, for whatever reason, in certain percentage of people is dysfunction because of that infection of that type of a virus or the injection of that type of a compound. Here's what we found. We found that number one, detoxifying the body is absolutely paramount. Well, detoxifying the body involves several things. Number one, it's hydration. You can't push toxins out unless you're hydrating like you're supposed to. So I'm going to encourage you every day, the first thing in the morning, what I want you to do when you get up is I want you to get a good full glass of clean water. And you already heard how important it is to have spring water or filtered water or reverse osmosis or hopefully water that system that pulls out the fluoride and the chlorine out of the water and puts minerals in it. But if you don't have that, what I want you to do is I want you to go get some key limes or some lemons, if that's all you can do. Key limes are better than lemons, but you take one of those and you cut it in half and you squeeze half that lemon or lime in that water. And I want you to put a big healthy pinch of good organic sea salt in there. And I like Himalayan pink salt. I like Baja Gold salt. I really like Celtic sea salt. It just needs to be good, clean, organic salt. That salt has 70 to 80 different minerals in it. Those minerals are electricity for your body. The more electric your body is, the better it can push toxins out. So first thing in the morning, start doing that. And then if you want to really kind of kick that up another little level, put a little pinch of cayenne pepper in there. Cayenne pepper moves the blood. It'll improve circulation. Man, it'll also help you a lot with cravings as well. The second thing I would encourage you to do is start doing some intermittent fasting. We know that the body, when it's fasting, goes through a process called autophagy. Autophagy is cells healing themselves, cells getting themselves to get rid of the old bad cells and regenerate new ones, new healthy cells. And hopefully, if we have new healthy cells, we have new healthy mitochondria. So what we recommend is starting with a small fast where you're skipping breakfast. You're going and maybe having lunch around 1 o'clock, maybe noon. But then you're eating your dinner maybe around 6 or 7. So you're eating within about a 6-hour window and you're fasting for 18 hours. That's a really great way to fast, to get your body used to doing that. Now, once you get used to doing that, I'm going to recommend that every once in a while you do 1 meal a day. Then I'm going to recommend that you get used to doing some prolonged fasting. We know that doing fasting for 24 hours up to 36 hours is really the key in resetting the body, but you got to work your way up to that. And it really is powerful. The data and research is clear on this. I'm going to show you some other things that are really beneficial. Nattokinase. Nattokinase is a supplement that you can take that has been shown to help with conditions like long haulers. You heard me talk about before with the mental health issues with methylated B12 and methylated folate. So L-methylfolate and methylcobalamin are two great things that you can do to really improve the ATP production in your body. That's a big one. Also, the other things that you can do is make sure that you have a solid probiotic, a probiotic that has master microbes in it. These are great things that you can do. That master microbe will help get a bacteria back inside your intestine called bifidobacteria. Bifidobacteria seems to be the key in most cases with long COVID syndrome that really show a massive benefit. That bacteria has been proven to be one of the most important bacteria to improve the function of the sleep hygiene. So, okay, sleep is a big issue because what I want you to understand is the only time that you can really truly heal is when you're sleeping. We know that if you're not sleeping adequately, you're going to gain weight. We know that it's going to increase blood sugar issues. We know it's going to reduce hormone function. We know it's going to improve all kinds of chronic inflammatory or increase all kinds of chronic inflammatory disease. We know that. So the reality of it is that most people can get away with 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. But there's a group of people that have a gene imbalance in their body called MTRR. And if you have that gene, you need just a little bit more sleep. These are folks that need a good 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day. And if they don't get those 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day, their body doesn't function like it's supposed to. So let's talk about things you can do. The first thing I would suggest that you do, number one, is make sure that you're eating clean throughout the day. All the stuff that I was talking about with the mental health and also the long COVID applies to you from a food standpoint. Intermittent fasting is a powerful thing. Making sure you're staying hydrated is a powerful thing. Having adequate amounts of fluid in your diet throughout the day is an adequate amount, a thing to do. But burning off energy, get your body moving, man. Get up in the morning, go for a walk, or go for a walk after lunch, or go for a walk after dinner. Did you know that going for a walk after you consume food can lower your blood sugar up to some cases by 30%? That's a powerful thing. And most people can't fall asleep or stay asleep because of blood sugar issues. If we control the blood sugars through diet, exercise, and intermittent fasting, that by itself can help with the sleep issues. There are some things that we do recommend for sleep that help. There are certain peptides that have been proven to help with sleep. Peptides are a type of amino acid that have been very popular now for really about 20 years, but the last couple of years have really kind of gained notoriety in the public. But peptides like BPC 157, ipamorelin, the C-Max, those kind of, and C-Link, those 4 peptides have been shown to be very beneficial to help with sleep. Also, making sure that you have adequate amounts of vitamin D. If your D levels are not between a 60 and a 100, then man, you're not going to be able to get that deep sleep. There are other things that you can do. I actually am a fan of taking melatonin. There's peptides that help the body make melatonin. And there are a lot of scientists or doctors out there that are poo-pooing melatonin. That is absolutely ludicrous. I'm sorry, but it is. Now, just like anything, we don't want to abuse it, and you should cycle on and cycle off, but I'm a fan of melatonin. I will tell you that me personally, I probably 3 nights a week take between 25 and 35 milligrams of melatonin before I go to bed. And that's not a mega dose. Melatonin also helps the immune system function better. So there's multiple uses for that. There's also other things that you can do, like deep breathing exercises. If you go online and look up diaphragmatic breathing exercises or what's called box breathing, you can use box breathing exercises, which basically is a form of deep breathing and meditation that can help you go to sleep and stay asleep. There are technologies that are out there. I'm a big fan of using technologies to tap into your brain, and there's technologies that you can use that you can wear these goggles and headsets, and you can listen to this soothing binaural beats and meditative music and relaxation therapies to help your brain waves get back to balance. And this will also help you not just fall asleep, but stay asleep. By the way, you can also use this technology during the day, and 20 minutes of using this brain technology can actually be the equivalent of a 4-hour power nap. And by the way, I'm not opposed to naps. I think it's okay for you to take a nap a couple times a week to get caught up if you need to. But there are so many things, but really it's more about avoidance than it is about taking things. Before you go down the road of buying a bunch of supplements and taking a bunch of peptides, the first thing I would do is say this: 10 hours before you go to sleep, 10 hours before you go to sleep, no caffeine. No caffeine, 10 hours before you go to sleep. About 3 hours before you go to sleep, no food. And about 4 hours before you go to sleep, no alcohol. Caffeine can affect your sleep for up to 10 to 12 hours. Alcohol and food can affect your sleep between 3 to 4 hours. And your brain and your gut are on the same type of wavelength. So if you're digesting food, your brain can't sleep like it's supposed to. So there are so many things that can be done. In fact, if you go on our site, there's videos on there that I do specifically about sleep and sleep issues. But I'm telling you, most people, if we get them sleeping well, if we get them breathing well, eating well, exercising well, taking the right supplements, and avoiding those things that could be, causing problems, guess what happens? They sleep fine. So I would encourage you to try those first. If that does, give that a good solid 6 weeks of microbiome. This is one of my favorite topics. So leaky gut, this question is about leaky gut. Doctor, could you talk about leaky gut syndrome? My health issues include digestion, immune problems, and I've got some mental health issues. They've heard me talk about gut health before. So let's discuss leaky gut. So here's the deal with leaky gut. I'm going to tell you that 95% of Western medicine or Western eating diets don't get enough fiber. If you don't have enough fiber in your diet, you can't make the right bacteria in your gut to heal your gut. And so 95% of the population in Western societies are going to have leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut leads to all kinds of other problems, including, like I told you, insomnia, anxiety, depression, fatigue. All the data is out there, okay? So let's clean up the gut. How do we do that? Intermittent fasting, number one, is a powerful thing to do, just like I talked about before. Eating 2 meals a day or occasionally 1 meal a day. But when you are eating during that feeding time, you're eating a lot of nutritionally dense foods. That's when you take your vitamins, that's when you take your supplements, all during that window. What else can you do to heal your gut that's leaking? Man, I love fermented foods. Eating foods like, kimchi, kombucha. I told you cabbage soup. Man, having cabbage soup regularly is amazing. Juicing with celery is a powerful thing to do. By the way, we found that juicing with celery doesn't increase or spike your insulin, so it can be done during a fast. And most people have no problem with it. Now, I would encourage you to have a glucose monitor or do something to see if those juices spike your insulin, but most people, celery juice doesn't do that. I would encourage you to up your fiber. Make sure that you're getting good plant-based foods in your diet and avoiding oxalate vegetables, avoiding things like, kale and spinach. And in some cases, cruciferous vegetables could be a problem. Usually cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower can help heal the gut, but in some cases it can cause more harm than good. Another big thing is avoid white flours, gluten, and things like almonds, almond flour, almond butter. Those can tear the gut up as well. Putting yourself on a really good probiotic, having a prebiotic, and that probiotic needs to be a master micro probiotic, and then eating good healthy fats like ghee butter. Ghee butter and extra virgin olive oil have been shown to help heal the gut. I tell people, make sure you're getting at least 1 to 2 ounces a day in your diet of extra virgin olive oil. Man, that's amazing. Using butter like ghee butter, which is a special type of butter that comes from, cows that are grass-fed cows, that can help your body make butyric acid. And that butyric acid, butyrate, can actually help heal that gut. So I would encourage you to go look at some of the webinars, seminars, and things that we've done. It's on our website about leaky gut and things you can do to improve it. But if you'll start there, that'll help you. Start with the simple things. There's no one-stop shop for all things. There's no one-stop vitamin to cure all things. There's no one cure-all pill that's out there. You've got to go and find out what's best for you. And precision testing can lead to precision treatments. That's why I recommend finding a functional medicine doctor like myself. There's doctors all across the globe that do the work that we do. So folks, there you go. Listen, I want to encourage you to please make sure that every week